really matter the order you go in on most of these, but there is one thing you have to do first, and that is factor and see if anything cancels. So can we factor anything here? Yep. This x squared minus 4 is x plus 2, x minus 2. Does anything cancel? Yes, the x plus 2's cancel. If something cancels, that tells you there is a hole in the graph. So there is a hole at x equals -2. I'm going to tell you how to find the y value in just a second, but that's how you find the x value is whatever cancels, set that equal to 0 and solve. I like to rewrite the whole new problem so I don't get confused. So there was nothing left on top, so that's 1 over x minus 2. To get the y value of the whole, we're going to plug the -2 into the new problem. So what is that going to give me? Yes. Go ahead and get used to the fact that you're going to be graphing weird points. -2, -1/4. Okay, we're just going to go left 2 and down just a little bit. And I'm literally going to draw an open circle. That's the hole in the graph. All right, from here, we can do this in any order. I'll just start with the first thing they listed. Vertical asymptote. Do you remember how to find the vertical asymptote? Set the bottom equal to 0. We are ignoring this. We're going to our new one. What's the vertical asymptote? X equals 2. Make sure you are writing the x equals. All right, so 1, 2, dot, dot. Okay, I have horizontal asymptote next. That's where we have our 3 scenarios. Is it top heavy, bottom heavy, or equal? Bottom heavy, so what does that mean? Y equals 0. Okay, I have slant written on here. That's for when it's top heavy. So you can either have a horizontal or a slant. I think you actually don't have slant written in yours. We haven't done it yet. We're not going to do it until next week. So I'm going to write none. But just so you know, you can only have one or the other of these. Okay, how do we find the zeros? Yes, you plug in 0 for y, but anyone remember the shortcut version of that? Set the numerator equal to 0. Okay, so 1 equals 0. What does that mean? There's none. Oh, I forgot to put my horizontal asymptote on here. Okay, y-intercept. How do we do that? Plug in 0 for x, so that would give me 0, -1/2. 0, -1/2. Okay, so I see my points are down here, so I know this section has to be like this. Whoop. Do we remember what the other side is going to look like? Top right, like this. If you don't know, you can always plug in a point. Hopefully, you start to get familiar with these enough. You're not plugging in a million points, but you can always go back to that. Okay? Here's the next one. X squared plus 1 over x squared minus 4. Factor everything first. So let's see. This is x plus 2x minus 2. Can we factor the top? No. Okay. So if I know nothing's going to cancel, there are no holes in this one. All right. What about vertical asymptote? What's the vertical asymptote? X equals plus or minus 2. There's 2 of them. So 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Horizontal. Is it top heavy, bottom heavy, or equal? Equal. Equal. So what is it? Y equals? It's not 0. It's 1. Divide the coefficients of x squared. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. Zeros. Set the top equal to 0 and solve, and what do you get? Plus or minus I. Okay, none. If you get anything imaginary, that means there's none of it. We can't graph an imaginary. Y-intercept. What do you get when you plug in 0 for x? -1/4. Okay, we finally have a point. And no slant asymptote because we had a horizontal. Okay, we don't have a lot to go off of, so we're going to need to plug in some more points. Do you remember the different shapes that we could possibly have? So you have options. You could either plug in 1 and -1 and we can see what's going on in the middle and then determine what the outside looks like. You could plug in something bigger than 2 and less than -2 to see what's going on the outside to then determine the middle. I think 1 and -1 would be easy to plug in. Why don't we do that? So what do you get when you plug in 1?
-2.
2 over -3. Okay, so -2/3. So that's going to be like here. What do you get when you plug in -1? Same thing. They're both squared, right? I'm going to get the same thing over here. So what is the middle going to look like, you think? An upside down parabola. Yes. Okay, do you remember what that means the outside sections look like? Yes. There we go. Boom, boom. There you go. Okay, here's the next one. What should we do first? Factor. Okay, on the top we've got x plus 2, x plus 3. And on the bottom, x minus 3, x plus 3. All right, what do we notice? Cancel out x plus 3, so that means there's what? A hole at -3. How do I get the y value? Plug it into, I'm going to rewrite this. X plus 2 over x minus 3. What is that when we plug in -3?
1/6.
1/6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, up just a little bit. Please ignore this. This is where people make a mistake is they'll say, okay, there's vertical asymptotes at 3 and -3. There's not one at -3. There's a hole there. So x equals 3 is our vertical asymptote. What about horizontal? Top heavy, bottom heavy, or equal? Equal. So where is it? Y equals 1. Okay. Zeros. Where's the 0? Yep, set the top equal to 0, so -2, 0. Okay. Y-intercept. 0, -2/3. There's none of this. Okay, this is looking like it makes sense down here. I'm going to draw this section. Where's the other piece? That did not look very good. Top right. Okay. Last one. This is a fun one. Okay. Is there anything to factor or cancel? I know there's no holes. All right, where's the vertical asymptote or vertical asymptotes? None, because if I solve that, wouldn't I get plus or minus I? So there's no vertical asymptotes. All right, horizontal, top heavy, bottom heavy, equal. Bottom heavy, so y equals what? 0, okay. There's something. What about zeros? Set the top equal to 0, what do you get? None, okay. Y-intercept? 4, okay, so 0, 4. Interesting. I have a singular point. I don't even have any vertical asymptotes. That's kind of weird. So why don't we plug in some more points because I have no idea what's going on. What do you get if you plug in 1? 2. Okay. 1, 2. What about -1? Yeah, it's squared, so aren't we going to get the same thing on either side? Okay, what about if we plug in 2?
4/5.
4/5. Okay, so we're getting smaller. And then -2 would also be 4/5, right? Okay, and what does it look like? It's a volcano. It is. Remember that one from yesterday? There we go. It's a volcano without the vertical asymptote. Remember yesterday we did one that had a vertical asymptote and it looked like that? Because this became imaginary, it like turned it into a little mountain. Isn't that cool? So when in doubt, plug in some extra points if you have no idea what's going on. Some of these can do weird things. but hopefully you'll notice some patterns and start to remember what these look like. Okay? You guys can get started on your worksheet.